Vanakkam, good evening friends, and I am thank the Bharatiya Pichada Soshi Sankathan for giving this opportunity to talk about Periyar's struggle on social justice and the present scenario on OBC reservation. Let me first say that about Periyar, that one of the greatest revolutionary of the 20th century, who hailed from Tamil Nadu and lived up to 95 years, and throughout his life sacrificed, struggled for the betterment of the Dravidians, the backward classes, the scheduled castes, the tribes. And to be precise, I would like to touch upon the first struggle for human rights that happened at Vaikam in the year 1924. Vaikam is a town in the Kerala state. It was in the erstwhile Travancore province where the struggle started. The problem was the Yelava member and advocate was not allowed to go to the court, which was situated around the temple of in Trivandrum, and at the time of a function to be organized for the king of the Travancore, the path was closed, so the advocate was to move along the streets of the Brahmins, and he was not allowed to walk. So the agitation was conducted only in Vaikam based on the incident that happened in Trivandrum. The initial leaders, the T.K. Madhavan, K.P. Kesava Menon, George Joseph, they organized the Satyagraha, but within 10 days they were arrested by the government. Periyar was then the leader of the president of the Congress party in Tamil Nadu, and he was invited to join the Satyagraha. He immediately went there. On April 13, 1924, he went to Vaikam. From that day till the Victory Day celebrations that happened on 29th November 1925, Periyar was in the thick of the struggle, leading the battle for this human rights for the Yelava people and the untouchables. Periyar gave a new life to the movement, says historian T.K. Ravindran. On May 22nd, 1924, Periyar was arrested and awarded 1 month simple imprisonment. Periyar went to jail and he came out. Again he started the agitation, and there was no slackening. Thereafter, he was again arrested on July 18th of 1924, and this time he was sentenced to 4 months rigorous imprisonment. And in the words of Rajaji, who was a leader in the Tamil Nadu Congress, Periyar was given rigorous punishment in the jail, where his hands were chained, and he undergone a very difficult time in the jail also. But never mind, Periyar was never mind of that. Apart from that, he was the only leader who was arrested twice for this Satyagraha. And even for this victory celebration, finally the Raja died and the Queen came, and the streets were opened to the Yelavas and the untouchables, and the victory celebration was conducted where Periyar was the only leader outside the state invited for the function. So based on that, Thiruvi Kalyan Sundarnar, he was also a president of the Congress then. He gave the title Hero of Vaikam. And to bring remembrance to all our friends, I would like to say that Dhananjay Keer, who wrote the biography of Dr. Ambedkar, he quoted this Vaikam agitation in his Muk Naik also. An outstanding event of the year concerning the struggle of depressed classes was the Satyagraha, or the passive resistance, sponsored by Periyar at Vaikam in the Tiruvankur state for vindicating the rights of the untouchables to use a certain road to which they were forbidden entry. Its moral pressure and the spirit of righteous assertion had a tremendous effect, and the Orthodox Hindus for a while regained their civic sense and sanity, and finally that gave the Ambedkar to conduct this Mahat Satyagraha, which was also coming events cast their shadows before. That was the verse from the Dhananjay Keer, which I am quoting here. Thereafter, in every conference of the Congress party in Tamil Nadu, where he was the president, thereafter secretary also, he moved the resolution that there should be 50% reservation for the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes. But the promise was given that the resolution will be accepted, but never it was accepted. In every conference, Periyar was trying to move the resolution, but it was not done. Finally, in 1925, at the conference held at Kanchipuram, he tried his best to bring the resolution, which was promised also by the leader Thiruvi Kalyan Sundarnar. But in that conference also, the Brahmin lobby won and the resolution was not moved. Upset by this, Periyar decided that continuing in Congress will not be helpful to the people. So he came out of Congress and in 1925 started the self-respect movement. In the history of a country, this was the only movement that was started to give self-respect and a new philosophy for the Dravidians, the backward classes, the scheduled castes and tribes. And thereafter, he continuously tried to project the ills of the society and for the upliftment of the downtrodden people. In 1937, Periyar met Dr. Ambedkar. Thereafter, in 1940 also he met. In 1937, Ambedkar was to address in a conference on the subject of annihilation of caste, but that meeting was conducted because the text of the Babasaheb Ambedkar needed some correction, which Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar did not accept, and Periyar got the news and he collected that book and published it in Tamil also. Thereafter, Periyar and Ambedkar met in 1940. Along with the Jinnah also, they had a very good discussion on various issues concerning the welfare of the backward classes, the scheduled castes and the tribes also. Thereafter, the Justice Party, which was ruling in Tamil Nadu right from 1920, brought communal reservation for the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes and also other communities. There was 100% reservation in Tamil Nadu brought by the Justice Party. Periyar welcomed this communal GO and supported the Justice Party. Thereafter, he became the leader of the Justice Party also. In 1944, the Justice Party was converted as Dravidar Kalagam, exclusively for the welfare of the Dravidians. And thereafter, Periyar continued. In 1950, after attaining independence, the Indian Constitution came into effect on 26th January 1950. Quoting the provisions of the Indian Constitution under Article 14 and 15, a case was filed by an upper caste student in Madras High Court challenging the communal GO that was giving reservation for all the communities, including the Brahmins. Brahmin got nearly 12 to 14% reservation in all the education and employment in Tamil Nadu because of the Justice Party. That was challenged, and the High Court struck down the communal GO that was available since 1928. Periyar started the agitation. The government, Congress government, took the matter. Supreme Court also upheld that decision of the High Court of Madras, and the communal GO was struck down by the Supreme Court also. Periyar led the agitation in Tamil Nadu. He mobilized all the people from 1950 onwards. Nearly for 1 year the struggle went. Finally, the government, central government, headed by then Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and Babasaheb Ambedkar was the law minister, they decided to bring the constitutional amendment to protect the communal GO also for the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes. The first constitutional amendment came into effect on 1st June 1951 because of the struggle of Periyar. Article 15(4) was inserted, whereby the scheduled castes, tribes and the backward classes were able to get reservation in education, which was not available earlier in the constitution. The effect of the first amendment was that not only it was confined to Tamil Nadu, but for the entire country, the people of the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes, today when they are able to get reservation in education, it was due to the struggle that was conducted by Periyar in 1950s that led to the first constitutional amendment. Thereafter, Periyar continuously propagated the slavery on which these people are living. The reasons for that, he was explaining to the people. He is a mass leader. He was always meeting the people. In 1957, he decided to burn certain portions of the Indian Constitution that protects caste. So he conducted an agitation in 1957 on 27, nearly 10,000 cadres of the Dravidar Kalagam government, the Constitution, nearly 3,000 people were arrested, and they went for rigorous imprisonment from 6 months to 3 years. Nearly 18 people died of their agitation. That was the only agitation in the entire country that was conducted for the abolition of the caste. Thereafter, in 1953, Ambedkar said in the parliament also that my friends tell me that I have made the constitution, but I am quite prepared to say that I shall be the first person to ban it out. I do not want it. It does not suit anybody. But whatever that may be, if our people want to carry on, they must not forget that there are majorities and there are minorities, and they simply cannot ignore the minorities. That was the word given by Ambedkar, burning of the constitution. So that way, Periyar did it in 1957, what Ambedkar was telling that. And thereafter, his continuous preachings in Tamil Nadu led to the mobilization of the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes under the banner of Dravidar Kalagam. There was all-round development in education and employment. The reservation policy, even by the Congress party that was headed by the great leader Kamarajar, thereafter by the DMK, by Annadurai, as well as Dr. Kalaignar Karunanidhi, thereafter by ADMK government, by MGR, thereafter by Jayalalitha, all continued, and today we have got 69% reservation in Tamil Nadu. Not only it is a GO, it is an act, reservation act. In the entire country, the Tamil Nadu is the only state today having a reservation act. All the underground work was done by Periyar. That is why today in Tamil Nadu we are able to have this 69% reservation. And throughout his teachings, Periyar was telling about the various ills in the society, on which whenever you go to the people, the upper caste and the Brahmins were telling that all these evils are in the Vedas. All these Vedas were told by the Hindu gods, and in the Hindu religion it is all there. So Periyar was forced to attack the religion, the God, the Vedic text, everything to demolish the obstacles that is for the welfare of the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes. Periyar didn't go directly on religion or on God. For his only aim was the people of this country should have equal treatment, equal opportunity, and everybody should be treated equally. Whatever hurdles that are coming before them, that should be destroyed. That was the Periyar's only goal. So when they say that God is an obstacle, Periyar said, remove the God. Then they said religion is there, remove the religion. Then they said it is all told in the Vedic text. Then he said, I will burn the Vedic text. That way only he was doing it scientifically and logically. That way only Periyar was attacking the religion and God like that. And he pursued till his end for the removal of all these obstacles, so that the people of this country, the Dravidians, the backward classes, the scheduled castes, the tribes, they live in harmony. They live a life of dignity and respect. Ultimately, I want to say that Periyar's was that this is I can tell you in a capsule, that a country is thriving. People have become civilized. Knowledge, discipline, and balance are growing in the country. What are the indicators for that? Periyar said there should be equal justice, equal share, equal ownership, equitable governance, equal orientation, equal consumption, equal experience. If it is not there, we must do to ensure this at any cost. That is the Periyar's philosophy for the welfare of this people of this country, because Periyar wanted a nation that is devoid of all these obstacles, that is devoid of all these discriminations. He was all for not only for discrimination between the caste, even gender discrimination, he was against that. That is why this title of Periyar was given by the people, women folk, in a conference in 1938. They called him as the Periyar, means in Tamil we call it Periyar. It means a great leader. Today, till today, the world across, they remember the name not by E.V. Ramasamy, which is the real name, but everybody today knows Periyar because of his lifelong struggle to remove all these discriminations, gender discrimination as well as caste discrimination, so that the people have a life with dignity. There should be a society full of happiness. That is what humanism, that is the essence of Periyar's philosophy. So with this, I will now come to the next chapter of the present scenario in OBC reservation. Friends, you will be already having the various data about the OBC reservation before you. Our All India OBC Federation, for which I am also an office bearer, we have been trying our level best to bring justice to the backward classes. We wanted to ensure this implementation of reservation policy for the OBCs as enshrined in the Constitution, as given by the Mandal Commission recommendations, that has been implemented by a GO in September 1993 for employment, as well as by a Educational Institutions Act of 2007 to provide 27% reservation. Dismay and disappointment in various sectors, we find today that the reservation for the OBCs are not being implemented properly. Various misinterpretations, wrong interpretations are given by the officials, because the entire structure today in the executive structure at the central government is totally controlled by the 3% of the population, that is the Brahmins. They corner nearly 75 to 80% of the Group A post. But in the secretary cadre, if you find that, you will be really shocked to know that there are no secretaries belonging to the OBCs. In the cabinet secretary, that is the only secretary who sits in the cabinet meeting when the policy decision is taken. Since independence, there is no cabinet secretary belonging to the OBCs. That is the fact of the OBCs today. We proclaim and claim that we are the majority population of this country. In terms of numbers, we are majority, but in terms of power, we are a minuscule minority. Our various data as given by the government of India says that we are not only 1% in where in the top level post in the various public sector undertakings. Take for example banks, insurance, or in any other organization, public sector undertakings or in central government at the secretary level, we are not even 1%. That is the position today because we have reservation and promotion. Even this entry level, it is not being implemented properly. The court has already given various obstacles in the form of creamy layer, 50% ceiling, which has not mentioned anywhere in the Indian constitution. But the courts have gone ahead and said that this ceiling should be implemented, then only the OBC reservation should come. But from 93 onwards, now we have crossed nearly 27 years. But today when you see the data, we find that the OBC representation in all the sectors are not at all even to the minimum possible. And we don't know when we will be able to reach even this 27%. In Mandal Commission says that the population of the OBCs are 52%. We are not given 52%. We are given only 27% so that the 50% ceiling is not exceeded. That way, Mandal was very much considerate that we should not exceed the 50% because the Supreme Court has said that. But in the Indian Constitution, there is no mention about the ceiling also. But despite that, even the 27% is not done. Various levels we have been suppressed. Even in 2015, many of our students, they have passed the UPSC examination to become IAS, IPS, IRS level. And those candidates, nearly numbering 150 like that today, they have not been given the postings by the Ministry of Personnel, citing that their parents' income has exceeded the creamy layer. And for your information, the creamy layer concept has got lot of confusions. And people are not, even the genuine people are not able to get the OBC certificate. They find it very difficult. Finally, they put in the application as a general category. That way only our OBCs are deprived of the constitutional right. And even then also, the creamy layer concept, when they devised it, they should have done it on the constitutional post, whereas they have fixed an income ceiling also. In the Indian Constitution, there is no mention about the economic criteria. Constitution Article 340 clearly says that socially and educationally backward classes. And also Article 15.4, which was the first constitutional amendment, that also says that socially and educational backward classes. When this first constitutional amendment was discussed in the parliament, Pandit Nehru was brought this amendment, and some members of the parliament asked Pandit Nehru that we should also add economic also, socially, educationally and economically. But it was rejected by both by Pandit Nehru as well as Baba Saheb Ambedkar, stating that the discrimination was on social terms, so there is no question of economic criteria to be imposed on them. So finally, socially and educational term was accepted by the parliament by a vote. 245 members, they voted in favor of socially and educationally backward classes. Only 5 members wanted economically. Even in 1951, this matter was already sorted out. But again the matter was brought by the Supreme Court, and today in the name of creamy layer, all our people, eligible people, and the first generation, second generation, their parents, they come up and they wanted to put their children in IIT, IIM and AIMS. They are deprived today because of the creamy layer. So at the national level, our AOBC Federation is fighting to remove the creamy layer. And now they wanted to make it complete as economic criteria. They wanted to fix only the income ceiling and remove all the additional class, so that whatever may be the income based on only will be treated as OBC, so that we will be treated across as the economically weaker sections among the upper caste, which the government has brought in last year, 10% reservation for them. There is no mention about the economic criteria in the constitution, yet because the government has heard the numbers in the parliament, they were able to bring an amendment, constitutional amendment 15.6 by 16.5, like that they were able to brought economically weaker sections also. Now they want to convert these OBCs also in the same manner, so that henceforth OBCs will also be given reservation only based on their economic criteria. They are trying to fix that income ceiling, on which our AOBC Federation has already given objections, and we have sent our memorandum also to the government as well as to the National Commission for Backward Classes as well as to the Parliamentary Committee for OBC for their kind of consideration and attention. So it is a big battle we are doing today. And not only that, this MBBS, this MS, like that in the undergraduate and the postgraduate admission at the All India quota level, total injustice. Not only for this year, continuously it has been going on. This matter was not at all even known to all of us. Only in 2018, some doctors brought our notice that the great injustice is being done. Thereafter also, only we came to know there is an injustice. Then we wrote a letter to Honorable Health Minister. Then Jadda, our Nadda was the Health Minister. We wrote a letter to him, but there was no reply. Even today we have written a lot of letters, but never they have replied to our letter. So we brought the notice to the Parliamentary Committee for OBC. At that time, NCBC, there was no composition of the chairman or chairperson. Only in 2019, the new team came. So there was no NCBC also at that time. Only the Parliamentary Committee for OBC and few other MPs who are somewhat committed to this. So we brought to the notice. They also took up the matter with the government, but there was no reply. Some of our honorable members of the Parliament, even Ganesh Singh, who is the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee for OBC, he brought this matter in March 2018 by a unstarred question. The minister gave a reply that we are implementing reservation as per Central Educational Institutions Admissions Reservation Act 2006. That is the reply. But the question was, why the government is not giving reservation for OBCs in the All India quota seats that are drawn or that are brought from the states. Every year, the states are surrendering 50%, 50% for the postgraduate courses to the central government for All India quota. Similarly, in the graduate level, that is MBBS, BDS seats, 15%, 15% of the seats are given to the All India quota. In this total seats, the Medical Counseling Center, now they are calling it, earlier they called it as Medical Council of India, which comes under the Directorate General of Health Services under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. They are conducting the counseling. And in that All India quota seats, the reservation is given for SC candidates, ST candidates to the extent of 15% and 7.5%. For OBCs, the reservation is not at all given in the All India quota seats that are drawn from the states. Only in the central educational institutions that are run by the central government or affiliated to the central government, like Indraprastha University, Banaras Hindu University, there only the seats are 27% are given to the OBCs, which is very much limited. Total seats will be only 1,400 or 1,500. In that OBCs are given. Whereas the seats surrendered by the states, every year comes around 8,000 to 9,000 in the PG seat, where there is no reservation for OBCs. Likewise, we have brought this data. Every year we are writing the letter. There was no reply. Our Honorable Ganesh Singh, he raised the matter. The reply was like that. Thereafter, some members of the parliament belonging to DMK, like our T.R. Balu, Mr. Wilson, Tamilachi Thankapandian, they raised the matter, they wrote the letter, and the minister gave a reply, the same kind of reply, that they are implementing reservation as per the Central Educational Act, and they are totally avoiding or evading the reply on this very important question, why OBCs are deprived reservation in the All India quota. And many of them, when we got this year, when this matter was again coming, we saw the seat matrix and we got into the whole issue in a very deeper way. We analyzed everything, how the seats are being each state-wise. Then we made a figure out every state. Then we finally come to a conclusion, and we have brought a chart also where you can see that every state-wise we have brought the data. For example, in Maharashtra, nearly 1,074 seats are being surrendered to this all India quota. Not a single OBC is getting in that. Similarly, in Tamil Nadu, nearly 941 seats are given, not a single OBC. If these seats were available in the states, they would have got this reservation of their respective state percentage. Like Tamil Nadu, we have got 50%. Our 470 OBC candidates would have got the reservation, whereas when it goes to all India, it becomes 0. Likewise, this year, nearly 7,961 seats that are gone to all India quota, where the OBC reservation is totally nil, so there is a 0 candidate has been selected. That is the position we have taken this, not only in the PG medical, even the PG dental course also, the same position continues. So far the government has not published the graduate level, that is MBBS, BDS. The same will also is going to continue unless a decision is taken by the government to implement reservation. There is no going back, because already the Article 15(5) that was amended in the year 2006 when UPA government was there. Then HRD Minister Arjun Singh brought the amendment. The amendment was passed unanimously and got the President assent also. And that Article 15(5) clearly states that every OBC, SC, ST should be given reservation in all these educational institutions by the states. States means both central and state government. That is the Article 15(5). Thereafter only the Central Educational Act came in 2007 end, and it was given assent in 2007 like that, and based on that act, 27% reservation was applied in IIT, IIM, AIIMS and other central education institutions. And both these things, 15(5) as well as the act, was challenged in the Supreme Court, and it went for a 5 judges bench. Finally, they gave the upheld the act as well as the act in April 2008. Thereafter, the government or the officials should have the honesty to implement 27% reservation in the All India quota also. Whereas for SC/ST, the same position was there. Earlier 2007, prior to that, there was no reservation for SC/ST also. So some case was filed in the Supreme Court. Finally, there was a lot of confusions. The additional Solicitor General went to the court and said that we will implement reservation for SC/ST. The court also gave the permission order. So from 2007-8 onwards, the central government in the All India quota gave reservation for SC/ST in the post-PG level admissions. That year they have not given for the undergraduate, graduate level, MBBS like that. Next year only they started that, they issued a guideline. That what we are asking today, that already a judgment has given in principle. That means reservation category should be given in the All India quota. That is the principle applied, that should be applied. Whereas now the minister says there is a court case in 2015 in the, so that we are not able to implement like that. He is giving a lame excuse. Whereas the government has not filed a reply in the Supreme Court. The case is the All India quota, OBC should be given reservation. That is a case filed. The government should have taken a decision. Yes, we are going to give reservation. So that will be the reply, means the case will be dismissed and we can implement it. Whereas the government is not prepared to do all these things. The officials are in a position to deny these OBCs because the OBCs are not still consolidated and fighting on this social justice. That is why these officials are able to continuously do that. And today we have released another data also, where we have collected the data for 4 years. From 2017 onwards, 4 years data, where nearly 40,800 seats have been in the All India quota all these 4 years, and there is candidate allotted to OBC is 0. That means 11,300 seats have been lost in the 4 years for OBCs. That is the alarming picture. If you go still back, the number will be going on. If you remain calm also, the number will grow every year also. So this is the right time. We have to consolidate and fight on this issue. I must thank the National Commission for Backward Classes, the Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Vice Chairperson, and all the Honorable members of the NCBC for taking serious concern on our complaint sent to NCBC on this matter. They have immediately taken cognizance of our complaint, and now they have given forwarded that complaint to the Health Secretary, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. They have asked his reply within 15 days so that the matter can be known to us also, and we are preparing some other materials also to supplement our complaint, and will be able to give to the NCBs also. In our further letter, we are going to address the Honorable Prime Minister. In that letter also we are mentioning that this is the first time the country is having a Prime Minister belonging to the OBC. In this government only gave the constitutional power to the NCBC. But despite all these things, the OBC's position is very pitiable, and they have to make a mercy petition for their constitutional right. This is the position today. The scenario is only, this is the tip of the iceberg. What has happened in the MBBS or in the postgraduate course, in the All India quota is only an iceberg. In every area, in every university, in every departments, lot of injustices are happening for the OBCs, for which we have to collectively fight on these issues on a very scientific manner. In the sense, mere representation is not enough. We have to pull all the data and collect everything so that we will be able to fight across the country in a consolidated way, so that our people get the real social justice which our great leaders like Periyar, Ambedkar, Jyotirao Phule, Sahu Maharaj and Narayana Guru and Mandal, everybody has visioned that the social justice should be there in this country, for which we have come in a bigger way to collect the data, and we have to consolidate our people at the national level. And I think in this video, I appeal to all our friends, let us have a consolidated approach on all these issues, and our All India OBC Federation will always be in the forefront in our fight towards social justice. With this, I thank once again all of you for the patience you have heard, and I think any doubts or anything is there, you can also ask me. And some of the lot of calls I have received on this data, they said whether it is real, it is a fake. Nothing is fake, because we depend on the data given by the government. All the data given by is drawn from the website mcc.nic.in. We have taken the pains to segregate the state-wise, and also All India quota when we take means you can also select the data like this. I can give you one example. Like for example, can you people can wait. I will give you one example also, that in Maharashtra, for example, one second, I will give you. In each, suppose, for example, Maulana Azad Medical College, that is comes under the central government. So there will be reservation for that. Whereas if you come into the other colleges, like any colleges of any state government, you can segregate. Suppose for Tamil Nadu, if you take Stanley Medical College or Madras Medical College or Kilpauk Medical College, they are the colleges in Tamil Nadu. The seats that are surrendered to the central government, if you look into the data, you will find there will be no OBC. There will be only general, SC and ST. And also one more thing which I wanted to mention, because these seats, every year nearly 3,000 seats from this postgraduate and other graduate level has been transferred to the general category. The EWS category is able to get lot of seats in the general category. That is the outcome of all these things. So the officials at the hem of affairs, in the secretariat, they are working overtime to ensure that the social justice for OBC is totally denied, and time has come for us to unite and fight on this social justice. Thank you. Pradeep Doble has asked a question that whether do you have to give creamy layer certificate at Tamil Nadu for medical admission. And I want to inform all of you that the entire country, as I said that we have a 69% Reservation Act, in the entire country, Tamil Nadu is the only state that has totally rejected the creamy layer concept. Because of the social movement, Periyar movement. We have a long history on that. Let me take some few minutes to explain to that. In 1979, when MGR was the chief minister in Tamil Nadu, he brought a GO whereby if any backward class family exceeds annual income of 9,000, that family will not be eligible for backward class reservation in Tamil Nadu. That was the GO brought by him. Immediately, as I said, in 1950, Periyar started the agitation. In 1979, Periyar's here, Dr. E.V, he is the leader today in the Periyar movement, and he led the agitation. And also at that time, Dr. Kalaignar was there in DMK. He mobilized everybody. All the parties also joined together. Tamil Nadu had agitated on that, and finally MGR was forced to withdraw the GO. He was also defeated in the 1980 parliamentary election, and he withdrew the GO. Not only he withdrew the GO, he improved the BC reservation, which was at that time only 31%. He improved it to 50%. That was the effect of Tamil Nadu's agitation because of the Periyar movement. So 79 itself, we had an experience how to thwart this economic criteria. So when this Mandal reservation case of Indrasani came in 1992, when they imposed this creamy layer, Tamil Nadu government did not accept that. Then finally some people here also, upper caste people, they went to the Supreme Court. They argued that Tamil Nadu is not applying creamy layer. Supreme Court also issued a notice and asked for the reply. And Tamil Nadu government gave the matter to the Backward Class Commission of the state. The Backward Class Commission made a survey and gave a report to the government that creamy layer need not be accepted in Tamil Nadu. So the government accepted the report, and even today there is no creamy layer concept in Tamil Nadu. For any recruitment or education in Tamil Nadu, people belonging to the backward class or most backward class need not get any creamy layer, non-creamy layer certificate for their education or employment. Whatever BC certificate that was given to them, that applies throughout for all the BCs and MBCs in Tamil Nadu. Then another Toble is again asking another question, that when 50% ceiling on reservation, how come 69% come in Maharashtra? Please advise how to achieve the state. Because even before that, our that Indrasani case came, Tamil Nadu, the Indrasani judgment, Mandal reservation came in on 16th November 1992. But we have a reservation policy of 69% period to that. So in the Mandal judgment also, there was a mention that wherever certain these reservation percentages are exceeded due to certain conditions, they can continue. So based on that, Tamil Nadu continued that. But as I told you, some upper caste people, they went to the Supreme Court that 50% ceiling should be applied. So the Supreme Court stayed this 69%. At that time, there was no act, there was only GO. Again, Periyar movement. Our great leader, Dr. Veeramani, came in the front. He mobilized the people. He conducted all party meeting, DMK, everybody, Dr. Kalaignar, everybody joined together, because social justice platform, there is no politics in Tamil Nadu. Every party has to align. Otherwise, they will not be, they cannot win in the election also. That is the position in Tamil Nadu. So, finally, Dr. Veeramani gave a draft policy to the government on the bill to protect the 69%. Article 31B and C was taken, and he prepared a bill, draft bill, and gave to the government. At that time, Jayalalitha was the chief minister. He belongs to the upper caste community. But even then, as I told you, Tamil Nadu on social justice, every government is at par. So, she placed that in the assembly, she prepared that, and finally passed the act also. And in 1994, the amendment, that act also brought, and it got the president assent also. At that time, P.V. Narasimha Rao was the prime minister. He is also a Brahmin. The president of India, Shankar Dayal Sarma, is a Brahmin. So all these people are upper caste. Even then, Tamil Nadu was able to win the 69% reservation act because of the solid base of Periyar movement in Tamil Nadu on social justice. So likewise we had a 69% Reservation Act. Now we have brought the book also in English, and we are giving to all the states and also chief ministers of all the states to bring a similar legislation act in all the states, so that this 69% reservation is brought in all the states, so that it's also an act is also brought, so that it will be protected. That way only each state, our members, our affiliated organizations, they should take the step, and we will be ready to give this act also to them, so that you can take up the matter with the government also. Is there any possibility to remove creamy layer? Ashok Kumar Sarkar. Sarkar, nice. So he is also one of the pioneer in our federation. He is the vice president, and he has asked this question. And it is a big fight, because whatever they say, they will say that Supreme Court judgment is there. So we have to bring constitutional amendment. That requires a lot of lobbying. Even for the existing implementation, now we are fighting. We are fighting for the existing policy of reservation 27% in the All India quota. That is our position. So we have to make a long battle. It is not a one-day affair. And they are very strong enough at Delhi. The upper caste lobby is very strong. So we should work throughout, day in and day out. It is not just a time pass affair. It is a very serious affair. We have to work, we have to lobby, we have to mobilize our MPs. They should understand what is the consequences of this creamy layer. Then only if the government brings an amendment, then we must give the pressure so that the Supreme Court also listens. That is what is happening in Tamil Nadu. We were able to bring because of the social movement. So we should have a movement at the national level as a social movement. Then only you will be able to succeed. Then Suresh Kumar, thanks. Then any other question? Explain Temple Reservation Act. So what happened in Tamil Nadu, and that was also a demand of Periyar, that even though Periyar was against this, he is an atheist and against this God and worship everything, but he wanted that priests should also be from the backward class, scheduled caste or tribes. The reason was that as a human right, everybody should have the equal right to enter into the temple. Whether you believe it or not, he should have the right to go into the sanctum sanctorum. And they were not allowed even today. So what Kalaignar brought an act in earlier period, 1974 or so, but the court was not approving that. And thereafter again when he came, again he in 1989 or so I think 2006 or I think, he brought an act, and that is also challenged, but the now court is not very firm about it. We can appoint, but the present government is not very sincere about it, because it was brought by Dr. Kalaignar. Maybe they may be having that. Anyhow, we are giving pressure, and one person has been already appointed, I think, and Kerala has already done that. In Tamil Nadu, they are quoting that Agama rule like that, but nothing is there. Our Justice A.K. Rajan, retired judge of High Court, he has written a book on that also, which is very much enlightening. So it is also another big battle which we are doing also here. The condition of creamy layer for OBC constitutionally right? No, it is not constitutionally right. As I told you, in the constitution, the word term is only socially and educationally backward classes, because we have been discriminated in the Indian society in the name of our caste. As a Sudra, I should not have the right to have education. That was what Manu Shastra told. That was what the reason why Sambhuha was killed. Why that thumb was removed from Ekalaiva? Because he doesn't have the right to learn that. So that is the main thing. So socially we are discriminated, educationally we are discriminated. That may lead to our economic backwardness. That may be the culmination of that. But that is not the direct effect of that. We have been, by birth, I have been discriminated. Whether I am rich or poor, I am discriminated. I want to quote two instances. One is that Babu Jagajit Ram, he was a defense minister, he was a deputy prime minister of India, he is highly educated, he is not a poor person, he is a rich person, and also he was holding a very constitutional position also. And when he came to Varanasi, he in the Banaras University, that Sampurnath statue, he unveiled that. And after going that, the people in that area said that it got polluted because he belongs to the lower category. And they made all these rituals to clean that. Thereafter only they allowed to have that Sampurna statue. That happened in for Jagajivan Ramji. Similarly, in Tamil Nadu, one of our Justice Party leader, founder leader, P.T. Tyagarajar, he is the richest person. He gave lot of donation, one temple in Tamil Nadu, Chennai. When that ritual was happening, when he went there, he was not allowed. Whereas the peon working under him, he is a Brahmin, he was there in the top. That opened his eyes. Then he went to Dr. Nair, T.M. Taravat Madhavan Nair, who was also he is a rationalist, and both of them joined together with the Nadesan. These three only formed the Justice Party, non-Brahmin movement. So like that, it is not the question of whether you are rich or poor. It is by birth we have been discriminated. That is why we say that the constitutional term also came socially and educationally backward classes. So only the Supreme Court has given that, and it can be modified by our lobbying only. For eating the flour because other people are not even knowing anything. Yes, because this is the fate of the backward classes. Those who are the beneficiaries of this reservation policy, they are not concerned about the society. That is the main drawback with our backward classes. Not only with the backward classes, all the reserved groups, they should understand that this social discrimination, it is a collective issue. It is not an individual issue. The society as a whole, we are being discriminated. Due to the struggles and sacrifices of our great leaders, we must also respond to the society's needs. Conscious of the various ills of the society, we must also try to contribute in our own way so that the forces that are trying to consolidate this social justice, they should be strengthened by our volunteering only. So our intellectual group, our educated group, and the beneficiaries of this social justice structure, they should come forward, and it is their duty. It is not an obligation, it is a duty. For OBC of Delhi, what is this? All the OBCs throughout are in the same boat. We are all, everybody is sailing the same way. And we must, as I told you, we must be very active, we must be very conscious, we must look around what is happening, whatever injustice, it must be brought to light so that we will be able to take up the matter. Today we have got two mechanisms. One is the NCBC, National Commission for Backward Classes. The another one is Parliamentary Committee for OBC. Both mechanisms we must try to use to the maximum possible extent so that the matter gets highlighted, and that is the only way. Rather, it is our prime duty as such till the last man get the yes. Srimant Raut is correct. It is our till the last person gets his right, we must fight. That is what the correct thing. Correct. Then anybody is there? So Suresh Kumar, that is what I have told. That criminal concept is really a great obstacle and also unconstitutional. That is what we have been telling from the beginning. We are fighting in all our representations. We say that should be done away with. But because of our limitations, because we are trying to consolidate and we are still doing that, so we have to fight. But it is our demand that the concept of creamy layer should be abolished. Even our chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee for OBC in his recent speech in March 2020 on the grants on social justice and empowerment, he said that this concept of creamy layer should be discarded. That is the view of the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee. Same is the view of the NCBC also, like that. But we have to continuously find. Is there any possibility court by OBC Federation for census? Sir, actually what happened, census we have already made our representation. We have sent to the Home Minister as well as the various chief ministers of all the nearly 17 states, 20 states we have sent so far. And to the NCBC as well as the Parliamentary Committee for OBC. Court, what happened was, there was a court case in last time. Tamil Nadu Madras High Court said that the census taken to the Supreme Court by the Home Ministry, where Supreme Court said that High Court cannot give such a direction. It is a policy decision of the government, so we can compel government to do conduct like that. Like that, Supreme Court said that. So that is why we are also thinking how far we will be successful in the court. We have to consult some legal experts also, whether it will be right on our part, because the officials will take the excuse that the matter is pending in the court. That is what now they are doing for this All India Court also. There is one case pending in Supreme Court, that Saloni Mitra, that Saloni Kumari, that 2015 case to give reservation in the All India quota. That minister is quoting, whereas the minister should have given a filed a reply in the court. What is the position of the government? Instead of doing that, he is giving a reply in the parliament. Likewise, when we file a case, suppose the matter is still pending, like that they may say alternate also. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Anybody is there? So if anybody is there, I can. What, Mr. The organizers will continue, or we can finish the line. Ravindra Ramji, how are you? Thanks. Thank you. Shyam Sundaro. Okay. See, already there is some creamy layer limit will be increased. That I don't think there will not be any difficulty. But that is not the solution. We are trying to bring more people into the concept, and limit they will be trapped. It is only a trap. That is what I can say that. But then, thank you, Rajeshwar Dior. Then, finished. Thank you. Fine, thank you for giving.